In the bottom right, middle bottom, sure, he is, for Kaizi Gaming, playing Protoss this series, Reynor. In the upper left, folks, for the Kwangdong Freaks, it's KeeN. So, double gas opener from KeeN in the game number 1. He says, yes, I would like pressure. I would like aggression. I want to kick Reynor out of this series before we can get started, because as has been very clear, or made very clear by some laser timings that he did in Home Story Cup and just timings in general, Reynor, if you let him get into the macro stage, he is very scary. He is terrifying. He is so... he gets himself up to like 105 probes if he's playing against Terran in the 80s and the 90s if playing against Zerg, and just he plays Protoss with Zerg, or he plays Zerg with Protoss and just swarms everything. But if you get damage done early, his builds are not quite clean enough. He's not quite at that same level holding off early shenanigans just yet. Oh, he'll get there. I mean, he'll have the experience, but for right now, that does seem to be his weak point, his weakness in playing PvC, or PvX, I guess. And so, in fact, actually, when he was streaming or when he was playing and practicing on Europe, he was he was sniping Hero Marine on ladder a lot and playing against him, and just complaining about how he could not stop those Hero Marine pushes. But it will be a Stargate opener from Reynor in this game number 1, and I believe he saw the double gas. He saw the single gas. Okay, actually doesn't really have a good idea what's happening, but this is Starport with a third C. This is a 1-1-1 coming out of KeeN. He will, of course, have a natural. Sure, fine. But quick Widowmine drops coming out from the Kwangdong Terran player. Would not be surprised to see an Armory drop of this one as well. Just, again, Cloaked Widowmines into a Stargate opener are always a little bit spooky. Yeah, you can get Oracles, but that's not the best way to do it. Oracles, they only have so much energy. They, you can drop more Widowmines generally than Oracles have coverage for. You can split them up, and it can still be rather annoying. Reaper tries to dive in, but really not that much there. And of course, KeeN, I don't believe he's aware that this is a Stargate opener.
Must build more
he has seen
depots.
a pylon. He's seen exactly a pylon. That's about it. So that's all he knows. There's a pylon on the map. Okay, Twilight behind this. A couple additional gateways. So this looks like it's going to be Oracle into Blink, which is really, if this was a Armory, if this was a Cloaked Widowmine drop, this would truly be the worst scenario for Reynor. But as it is not, there we go, there's the Oracle, and again, yeah, Oracle into Blink. As it is not, it's a decent situation for Reynor right now. He's going to have that map control. Please do not lose that Oracle. Thank you, Reynor. He will not. Gets the vision on the setup. He says, oh, well, okay, there's an orbital finding its way into the naturals. The Reaper into the main base, but there's a shield battery here, so Adepts are going to be able to react to this one fairly well. And yeah, shield battery says Reaper will not get what it wants, and Blink on the way behind this. Now, Reaper playing to ring around the Rosie, trying to fill his pockets full of Posey, but looks like he will only be left with some ashes here and into the high ground. Well, ooh, nice. He's going to be able to dodge out into the third base position, checking that to see if Reynor's being extra greedy. The answer is no, and this Reaper actually may find its way out. Maybe get a probe as well, as one probe will not go down. Good job there, Reynor. And there we go. Now the Reaper is dead. Oracle out on the map as Reynor proxying a pylon. I think, yeah, there we go. There's going to be a gateway going down here as well. So behind this, it's Oracle into Blink, but it's Oracle into 4-gate Blink. He says, you know what, KeeN, I know you committed pretty hard to this. As the Widowmine's going to scout. Or, Widowmine? Blink it out. Oh, no, not quite good enough split. There's Reynor. He drops the Revelation, but it's just not quite fast enough. He does lose his Stalker, but even still, there's not a lot here for KeeN. I mean, technically his army supply is higher, but it's 12 Marines. I mean, yes, the Cyclone is powerful, sure, but as we're going to see Reynor continue to build, Stalkers 3 at a time right now, soon be 4 at a time as Blink completes. This army from Reynor is going to get rapidly stronger. As already, we do see Stalkers staying alive for the most part. Now, there's a Widow. Of course, there's Medivacs out because of that Widowmine drop, and the prospective Widowmine drop. So that's something, as now the Stalkers run forward and Depths continue to fall. KeeN looking to put some pressure on, but the kiting here from Reynor is fantastic, especially if Blink does complete. The micro is all that he needs to make sure the D stays alive. We're going to see Revelation get dropped down once again. Reynor on the low ground. All his Stalkers are getting so damn low. Where's the Warpins, though? There it is on the left side. Auto turret does get dropped. There's a tank here as well. Reynor needs to kill that one off. That's really the true threat And he's got a concave from both sides, but the supplies are starting to get a little bit closer together. It was about 20 in the lead for KeeN. Now it's a little bit less as the tank's going to show up. Reynor gets revelation. Says, okay, I know where things are. He's going to find a tank in the main base, though. Stalkers blink up. There we go. Shot on the reactor. So it's going to be only one medevac at a time, not two. Shutting down things in that way. Stim about halfway done, and Reynor does have to be careful. Doesn't really want to step too far forward into tank range with these heavily bruised stalkers. So for right now, the lock-on just forces Stalker back to go on the low ground, but there's a lot of damage getting done to the starport. All right, the lock-ons are annoying. Actually, yeah, there we go. That's what we want. We don't see tank range. Lock-ons are annoying to be sure. But Reynor behind this, he's got 3 bases. Charge halfway done. Additional gateways going up to 6. He's got a lot of probes here too. The Stalkers blink forward. There we go. It's just dead. He trades a couple Stalkers for it, but that is a lot less space control that KeeN has on the map right now. And now the bunker looks like it will complete, as we do see an auto turret gets dropped. But also, auto turrets getting dropped here means that Raven is not going to be good for the push. No armor shredder missiles, nothing like that. The Cyclone falls as well, but more Stalkers arriving. The Reynor's starting to snowball this just a little bit, as the bunker is, of course, well defended, well repaired. But there's so many Stalkers here that you do have to be very careful if you are KeeN. And now he's got 2 tanks. All right, second tank is done. 7 more gateways are on the way behind this. And the Stalker, though, in the main base, linking forward, playing very much right on the edge of tank range. And oh, Widowmine. Oh, sneaky Widowmine. That means dead Oracle. Now Reynor, if he wants to be able to keep putting pressure on the high ground, he needs to keep a couple Stalkers up, and he has to choose these. So one Stalker falls, second one goes down. Behind this, of course, Zealots warping in. Charge is done, by the way, folks. And KeeN's under a lot of pressure. I mean, his economy is not incredible. It's not. So yeah, Reynor is going to struggle to push in even further. There are tanks. There's a bunker. Stim is done. No combat shields, though. Oh, excuse me. Combat shields are done, but no concussive shells. And this was, by the way, this is supposed to be a Widowmine drop. Reynor never let him get active on the map. Ooh, great Widowmine position. He's going to get 1 Stalker. A lot of damage on some more. Is now KeeN stimming forward. A little away from the medevacs, though, so as well, Reynor's going to be forced to run back. Anyways, Zealots, though, not on that run by. Eat a tank shot back up. Actually, 2 tank shots, really. But Reynor's on 4 bases. Well, 3.5 bases. His +1 armor is halfway done. And he does have a robo behind this. He will eventually tech up a little bit further. The Zealots, they don't quite want that fight, but feels like they could take it anyways, especially as the Stalkers are here and more Zealots rally across. And there we go. Stalkers on the left side blink forward. Medevac does fall. Zealots trying to get on top of things, but into the corner they will go. They're going to be able to get back up. Eating a lot of tank shots. But Reynor, by the way, he's on 12 gates. He's only on 68 probes. He's building more, but you know, he's got probes per minute to get that 4th base up. He's on 12 gates. It is a Zealot. It's effectively a Zealot stock. It's a gateway all in. Coming in from the Italian Stallion. And for now, it's been effective. For now, it has been exceedingly effective, as he will lose his forward warp in position. Now he's only on 11 gates. So yeah, the Stalkers. Oh, a bit of mismicro here from Reynor. He doesn't want to have those Zealots running forward, but KeeN is baiting. He's baiting against the Widowmines. He's dropping on the other side of the map. It kills a shield battery, but it looks like the Zealots are... Ooh, that's actually a bit of a choke there. That's awkward there. So Reynor, he is going to have to target the medevac down. He will be able to do so, but it's going to require another warp in here. And now the Marines are on the negative end of that choke. It looks like a couple probes die, but not too many. Yeah, four probes, really not all that bad. The big prize, of course, is theoretically the Zealots, but again, Reynor's on 70 probes. He's okay. So the north side here, a bunch of Widowmines going to burrow. Reynor has to get some good splits on there, and actually great retarget on the Widowmine. So now running forward Zealots even further on top of this army. That's actually a position where I think Reynor wants to commit the Zealots, because the Widowmine friendly fire would be rather nice indeed. But Reynor 5th base on the way right now. And sure, the drop forced Reynor back a little, or forced his attention back a little bit, but we're building a double Colossus now, +1 attack on the way. Extended thermal lance. Reynor has everything he could possibly want. Well, okay, his gas count's a little low. Right, he only was on 4 gas. But even still, Reynor, massive, in a massive position in this game. His economy is really, really good. Raven has been snuck out. Really funny. The Raven was actually pretty key to that defense. The auto turrets did a good amount, but also it's one of those situations where now Raven's actually would still be rather good, but I don't know that KeeN knows that Reynor has committed into the gateway transition just yet until he gets the scan out now, and we're gonna have to see what Raven looks to react to that, but no, it's just gonna be a Raven for the harass as Reynor posturing on the map once again. Double auto turrets get dropped, but he's quick on the pull, so only 2 probes will die, and Raven may be into the natural, but even still, I mean, we've seen how quick Reynor is on this one. 2 more auto turrets do get dropped, though, and this one actually gonna get a couple more workers, except the target fire is not incredible. So it's just gonna target stalkers down. There we go. Now that's a little bit more like it. That's a little bit more of the damage that Reynor does not want to get, that KeeN does, but still only 12 probes over the course of this game. So the auto turret harass, it got 8, but I mean, let's be real. Reynor can build, what are we at? He can build 6 probes at a time, or 5 probes at a time. He can suffer some economic damage and still be very much okay. But moving up the high ground, moving up this ramp is a different story. There are so many Widow Mines on the map. It really does feel like KeeN has committed to defending against the wrong tech. I mean, yes, Reynor did have a lot of zealots, but Widow Mines against Colossus are really not all that great. In fact, Colossus against Liberators are pretty great as well. So Reynor owns the map at this point. All right, but now here we go. Runs forward. Stalkers blink up, and there we go. Blast now finding a little bit better of an angle. What am I not really getting the best shot? But with the tanks here, tanks actually fairly good against the Colossus. So the overlapping ranges of Liberators and tanks make it kind of hard for Reynor to attack it. As KeeN is on double starport, by the way, building 4 Vikings at a time to deal with these Colossus. And Reynor moving into Disruptors now. He's getting into that next level of tech, but I almost feel like I wouldn't hate to see Reynor just go straight air. I mean, he has so much, doesn't have a lot of gas at the moment, but he has so much gas potential. He's on 6 bases. He's on, it's a perspective, it's a total of like 11 gas that he can get. Colossus taking a decent fight. And with 4 Colossus here, the Viking count is not really all that great. Disruptor shot from the high ground as well. Great job, Reynor, but he loses out on a lot of his, the wheat of his army. Yeah, or the chaff of his army. And we're going to see a bunch of Colossus do go down. Actually, a lot of the Colossus go down here. He breaks out so well, despite the actually pretty nice shots from the Colossus and the Disruptor shot from the high ground. By the way, Widow Mines get a decent amount of damage here. 4 total kills on that one. 5 kills on that one, so 9 kills. Auto turret harass here. KeeN is starting to get something. Starting to make life much more complicated for our young Protoss player. And the Viking count is terrifying. It's 7 Vikings against 1 Colossus. That's really not what you wanted. The tanks sieging forward. Disruptor shot gets 1 tank down. Zealots on top of the rest of these. Big Disruptor shot on the left side. And Vikings, yeah, okay, cool. Does that really matter when Reynor kills everything else? Now he's going to find himself onto this 4th base position, but Zealots do not bust planetaries. So Reynor's going to have to do a little bit more. As again, Widow Mines, do we have any more? Have they been dealt with? Looks like they have. Raven through the middle of the map has actually not been dealt with, though. That's a bit of a problem. It actually got a decent amount of kills to his name. 17 kills on the Raven. 37 probes overall, but I mean, Reynor's economy is still incredible. But up on the high ground, he's going to go once again. Disruptor shot. KeeN not going to fall victim to that one. We'll lose the missile turret. And remember, KeeN is only on 4 bases. His economy is going to start to mine out pretty heavily here. Natural, only 4 mineral patches. Main, not all that many either. Auto turret harass from a weird spot. Gets a little bit more. Viking harass. There we go. Vikings shred probes. This Disruptor's going to go wide. But there we go. The Vikings have landed. Stalkers, though, their upgrades are pretty decent. So really, the Vikings are just sacrificing themselves. They're not going to get all that much done. DCs in the main. EMPs, though, they will get revealed. Only going to be a Marauder that Reynor does get. But all of a sudden, Reynor, because of the, well, actually, he's got a lot of economic damage. I wish we had Gamer to really show how much, but we can take a look here. 27 STVs have died, and he's actually taken some good fights against the army as well. Reynor finds himself up about 80 supply. Just all of a sudden, we're starting to really see his economy start to show forward in a significant ways. He's going to find this drop on the left-hand side as well. But in the 3rd base, there we go. Reynor trying to bust the planetary down. KeeN just taps out. He says, I don't have enough here anymore. Reynor swarms him. Game 1 goes the way of the Italian. In the bottom left, folks, in the purple, up 1, and playing Protoss, it's Reynor. His opponent in the upper right, in the blue, looking to equalize, takes to game 3. It's KeeN. I should say feeling keen to take us to game 3. By the way, shout out to Ollie's new observer mod, which is really takes the best, or the extension mod that takes really a lot of the best bits of all the other observer mods and puts them in one place. For like example, I can click on minerals that are in Fog of War, so we can count minerals in late game scenarios. Oh, we're not. I guess we're not on that one. I was gonna say we can look at a resources mined over time graph. We don't have that actually. Never mind. But KeeN again, he went double gas early. He does have aggression on. He's got murder on the mind actually, but aggression's gonna have to do beforehand. So I'm gonna be curious to see what he's gonna be able to get done in this first game. Is of course it's gonna be Barracks Factory into Command Center into probably Starport. We saw him try to go Widowmine drops in game 1. It just didn't work because Reynor's aggression kind of cut him off of the kneecaps on that one. Just did not allow him to get in a position where he could get active on the map. But game 2 is of course going to be a different story. Now maybe very similar, I don't know, but certainly maybe a different beat, maybe the same beat, I don't know. But for now, Reynor getting ready. It's gonna be Stargate opener once again. So it's gonna be Oracle into Stargate, or Oracle into Blink, most likely, if we're just gonna take a page out of how Reynor played in game 1. And this was the build actually that everyone was talking about going, or all the Protoss players were going, were talking about going into Katowice. How this was, or the Terran players were talking about how strong it was. But everyone I talked to said, you know what, this is the build that is going to define the PvT meta in Katowice. Right, it's so strong, gives you so much map control. It really checks every box. And then Young killed them all with 6-minute stim timings. It hit right before the blink, before the tech of the Protoss was ready, and said, "Hey, hi, have fun." It was pretty cool to watch. But it does seem like this Oracle into Blink idea is starting to come back just a little bit now, as in general the Protoss meta has shifted away from the way we saw Crater play against Beyond in EPT Korea last week, or on Saturday night, the way in general we've seen Crater be playing against Terrans, which is, I'm going to take a safe third, I'm going to build a lot of Colossus, I'm going to turtle, it's going to be great. I'm going to build a death ball. Protoss have kind of decided that they want to go aggressive earlier. That's how they have changed the way they're playing their game. They want to establish a lot of map control, be extremely aggressive, and expand behind it, much like how Hero has actually been playing PvZ. So, Oracle into Blink is very much a good way to do that one. We saw Reynor use that to tremendous effect in the first game. But a couple Hellions are going to be on the map, and in fact, Reynor says, "Oh, that's fine. I'm going to kill you." So the Hellions will die, probably. Reynor is chasing this down. Actually, this is a lot of energy for the Oracle to use because it's just barely out of range. But there we go. Now the Hellion is dead, so minimal map control for our Terran players. Yeah, he does have a Viking behind this. He does want to make sure he doesn't lose really anything to the Hellions, or to the Oracle. But now Widowmine drop into the main base. Reynor handled the aggression pretty well in the first game. But now Widowmine drop into the main base. Here is Reynor paying attention. How good is his probe pulls? He's just not. Reynor's dead. Oh, the Reynor's dead. That was bad. It was real bad. Reynor just lost 11 probes. He's equal on the worker count of his opponent. It's not good. Now, I mean, maybe there's a world where Blink's not done though. So Reynor does not have a lot of aggressive options right now. I think he lost his Oracle. No, Oracle's still alive somewhere. But Reynor's just running across the map. He's got to get something done yesterday. But today would suffice. If he's going to be able to break through KeeN before KeeN is super ready, maybe that's going to be possible. But these Widow Mines, that by the way, that have killed Reynor, well, they're here yet again. They're going to cause some problems. We're going to have to see Revelation. There we go. Good Revelation sees 2 out of 3. And now there's a scan, but there's no observer. So the scan really just makes sure that these stalkers at least take a lot of damage if they do not go down. Tanks are, of course, on the way behind this. Blink is done right about right now. So when Blink completes, we're going to see Reynor move into the main base, trying to make something happen. But the test on his push, the requirements on his push are much higher than they were in the previous game. He now has to do game-ending damage to equalize things. He's only up 4 or 5 workers. His third base is much slower. Cyclones are going to get lock-ons. Ooh, hot pickup there from KeeN. He's flexing a little bit, but we will see one Cyclone go down. Lock-on on the Oracle, actually. Not going to get all that much. As Reynor rotates over to the Natural. He's going to get a couple SCVs, but Tank is there defensively. And Adept says nuts to that one, but Stalkers rotate right. Once again, they say, maybe you've taken the bait. Maybe you think I'm going to be in the Natural. But he's not. Stalkers are in the main base right now. Well, this is going to be a dead SCV. Dead supply depot, removing a little bit more vision, and more importantly, supply blocking KeeN. So Reynor now moving forward. This is Stim, by the way. If Reynor's going to be able to kill that one, that would do a lot. That would go a long way to equalizing this game. He still needs more, though. So he keeps microing, keeps microing. We will see Marauder go down. More and more SCVs going to get pulled. Cyclone dead as well. Tank's not yet sieged, actually, and Reynor's starting to make a real good play for this. Stalkers, though, they continue to fall. Reynor kind of blunked a couple of them, not quite far back, but he's reestablished. It's a 15, it's a 17 worker lead as a Stalker runs forward, looking to blink out the Widow Mine. There we go. There's a second one, though. You got to be careful about that one. Reynor, he lost 11 probes, but he killed 15 SCVs and a bunch of other stuff. Reynor's micro is just really good, as he's going to kill off this Widow Mine and the other one. There we go. So a little bit easier for him to find his way on the high ground. Tank, again, not sieged where it needs to be. So Oracle just providing a little bit of vision. And folks, it's 9 Marines. It's 3 Marauders. There's not a lot of mobile defense here for KeeN. Yeah, the tanks are good. And you pull them over, you siege up, the Stalkers cannot fight. But mobile defense, that's the problem. That feels like we've started to hit the point where Reynor cannot really get as aggressive as he would like, but if he morphs in Zealots, this is going to be a rather problematic army. And actually, the blink micro from Reynor is really, really good. There's no medevacs to really support this right now. Marauders continue to fall. KeeN oversteps himself a little bit. He's down 20 workers. Reynor lost 11 workers to the Widowmine drop, and he still finds himself in a lead in this game somehow. Reynor's just too good. He's just too good. This is really impressive from the young, I guess, Protoss player, but the young Zerg player, the former world champion. KeeN loading up on the drop. He says, I gotta find some way to release the pressure. I gotta find some way to get active on the map, because right now these Stalkers, they're just not letting me do anything. As the Oracle flies in once again, good revelation. Sees the Widow Mines again. That's the big deal. And I was gonna say, does Reynor blink in and kill the Widow Mine than the tank? But no, the tank on the high ground is too much about that. But if you bleed a couple Zealots in first, maybe. I mean, I don't think that Reynor needs to do this. He's up a base. He's soon gonna be up 2 bases. KeeN scans it out, and Reynor, he's just gonna give it the position. That's the proper decision there. He's like, you know what? You have +1, you have Stim, you have combat shields, you have concussive shells. You really have all these wonderful things that a Terran loves to have. I don't know that I can take that fight. Now, I can take it defensively, of course, but I don't know that I can take it on your side of the map. But KeeN is going to get aggressive soon. He has to. He's taking too much damage. So what I think we're going to see him do is push through the front and then try to use that to activate the drop on the left side. As again goes down, KeeN says, oh, you got another base there. Great. That's unfortunate. I think he would have assumed that Reynor was on 4 bases, but did not know it just yet. And by the way, what does Reynor have in terms of drop damage? Yeah, he's got plenty of Stalkers in the main base. He knows what's up. I don't think he doesn't see this drop necessarily, but he knows what's up. He's aware. That was the only way that KeeN brought himself back into the map, just a little bit in the first game. But Reynor, he's a little supply blocked. He's building Colossus out. His extended thermal lance is about halfway done. +1 armor is complete. Okay, here comes the drop through the middle of the map. Let's see what KeeN can, or the push through the middle of the map. Let's see what KeeN can do. He's got an upgrade. 1-1 versus just +1, or +1 armor. But this army of KeeN, it's not really technical. It's Marauders and Marines. And against 3 Colossus, that is not all that great. Ooh, this is a good position here, Stalker, though. They're going to run forward. Widow Mines, one gets targeted. Ooh, no. Reynor messed up a little bit. Doesn't quite get the Widow Mines. And again, we're just keeping an eye on that drop on the north side. Or no, I guess the northwest side. The west side of the map. KeeN just has it. He's had it prepped here for the long time. But okay, here comes the army on the right side, and the Colossus are not quite there. Reynor really needs to figure out where this army is coming from. He's going to see it now, so we're going to see his army rotate over. He's got plenty of static defense to make sure he's okay. And actually, he's got a Colossus in the Warp Prism, so he says, yeah, I got to make sure that I'm going to be ready right then. Widow Mines go off, but there more of that came from Widow Mines. Good splits there from Reynor, actually. They're all going to go off, and not many Zealots die. And again, that drop that I've been paying attention to, it's still not moving. Okay, there it is, but Stalker's not there anymore. Double drop from KeeN, this is what he wants. So this is probably going to necessitate some level of a recall from Reynor. His probes are pulled away. Reynor on the other side of the map with a couple Archons, a couple other things. There we go. That's the recall that KeeN has been looking for. But Stalker should be able to blink on top of this one, but no, not quite. So that's going to go down. And on the other side of the map, how is this break coming in from Reynor? Looks like fantastically. He blinks forward. One tank goes down, second tank goes down, third one falls as well. KeeN, he's got a bit of a base trade here, but I don't really have a lot of faith in it. Yeah, Reynor's not mining all that much at the moment, but he's still up 20 workers. The third base has been broken. Reynor really needs to move on to the mineral line. They're really starting to put pedal to the metal, but KeeN taps out. His attempt at a base trade did not work. And Reynor 2-0s KeeN to move on to the next round.